Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is our second episode, and we're so thrilled that you're joining us. And we hope that you get more people to join us and weigh in on what we're talking about. One of the things that we wanted to start each episode with is a question of the day. And to start with, I think we'll ask each other the question. But it would be great if other people started to weigh in with questions they have or responses to our question, because we would love this to be interactive. So today's question actually was inspired by my daughter, Abigail. Hi, Abby. I hope you're watching.
Abby.
So
Just had a birthday.
yeah. And when I told her that we were going to take this adventure on, she said, "You're creating something that you would have wanted for yourself." So I guess that is a question: is why do we want to do this, and who are we doing this for? So Tracy, I'm going to throw this to you, and then I'll answer.
Okay. Why did we want to do this? I wanted to do this because my aneurysm ruptured in 2004. And when I got home from the hospital, my sister and I, she was taking care of me, and we had no support. I went online to maybe get some support. There were no support groups. I didn't even know about the Brain Aneurysm Foundation. I knew nothing. And I was scared. And part of me was thinking, am I the only one that survived? And then eventually I found a community called Brain Talk, I think it was. And they had forums for every disease, condition that you can think of. And I joined that. And then I found brain aneurysm survivors and stroke survivors. And I joined them, and then I got really involved, and I started talking to people all over the world. So I was like, oh, thank God there are others that have made it. And then we started talking back and forth in the forum. We asked each other questions. We got responses. So that really helped me a ton, because it was dark. When I got home, I had so many doctor's appointments, and I was so tired, and I had to take a nap every day, and it was just a scary time. But we made it through it. There were some funny episodes that happened during that, but there were more trips to the ER, because I'm like, oh my God, is it happening again? Because you get all these weird feelings in your head. And I was like, oh, what's that? Is that another aneurysm? And I'd go to sleep going, please let me wake up tomorrow. And I would pray every night that prayer. So we are doing this because we don't want anyone to feel alone. We don't want anyone to feel like no one understands and they have no one to talk to. We are here. And eventually we'll invite guests. If you comment on here, give us your name and maybe email, and then the next episode or any questions you have, we will answer them the following week. So you'll never alone. And please, everyone, share our videos. Please follow us, share our videos, because I know that you know somebody that has suffered from a stroke, brain aneurysm. I didn't know anybody when it happened, but now every time there's a time once a week I get a call or a message saying, I know someone that just had a brain aneurysm rupture. What are they, are they going to be okay? Now, we're not doctors. We're not psychics. We're never going to give medical advice, but we can be here for someone whose loved one is going through it. I've done it several times in the last 21 years. January will be 21 years. So please comment, and then we can interact. And if you give me or give us your email address, I can send you a link to be able to comment while we're recording. So we just want to reach out to so many people. Anybody you think could benefit from this, please share it with them, or just share it on your pages, Facebook or wherever, because somebody will benefit. Somebody that's a friend of a friend, or a relative, or a friend of theirs. So that's why I wanted to do this. It's so important to get that support. All right,
Absolutely.
Bren, your turn.
So let's hard to top that, but I agree with everything you said. I think also one of the things that is so important to me is that that we recognize that all at once this experience is universal yet unique, and there is zero judgment and only abundant compassion, because even as much as Tracy, you and I have in common, we have so much that is different about our experience.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that is important for people to understand as they have experienced any sort of, is it ABI, right? What does that stand
Yes,
for?
acquired brain injury.
Brain injury, yes.
And
So
people don't know about that term. They just think TBI,
Right,
but
right,
it's different, but the effects are essentially the same.
right. So the idea is that there are going to be things that are kind of like weave us all together, and there are going to be things that like, well, I don't have to deal with that, or I'm dealing with this, but they're not. So like, there's so many differences as well.
Right.
The other thing that I feel is so important is that it is not only the person who is the survivor, it is everyone who is in the world, because it impacts everybody who loves you, who's learned to count on you, that suddenly they're dealing with a different version of you.
Oh,
and
gosh, it's so different.
Very real new reality that everyone in the world of the person who happened to be the lucky winner, I say sarcastically, of the acquired brain injury.
Yeah.
But
the
it affects
caretakers,
so
the
many people.
caregivers. Yeah.
Exactly. And hopefully, as you were saying, Tracy, with people interacting with us, some of the people that we would love to have on as guests would fall into that category as well, because
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be just people who have survived this, because frankly, even the caregivers are survivors as well. They've survived something as well. So I feel strongly about that piece of things.
Absolutely.
To come full circle, the fact that this question came from my daughter, she is a survivor too. Her mom experienced a hemorrhagic stroke. I can't even imagine being the age that she was when it happened and having that happen to my own mother. Like, there's a lot to unpack in that, and we'll get to that. We have lots of time to do that.
We have lots to share.
That's
Definitely.
right. That's
but
right.
I totally agree with you. My caregiver was my sister, my brother at times, but mostly my sister. And she went through so much because she was pregnant at the time with Jake. And she was dealing with, I was in New York City, and my family was coming, I think like every day to New York City Hospital. It was Beth Israel North at the time. And they would visit me every day. And it was the end of January into February, and even on snowy days they would come. It's like an hour and a half drive. So I know my sister went through so much, and I'm so thankful that she was there for me. And, everything happens for a reason. I firmly believe that.
Thanks, Renee.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks,
Renee.
Renee. Got to give her a shout out.
Yeah. Renee, hope you're watching. So she dealt with my appointments, my rides. I also had aunts. My uncle Bobby was still with us, and they would do my laundry for me. I needed clothes in the hospital. My aunt went to the store and got me like loose fitting, exercise pants, jogging pants, whatever you want to call them. And that was so important. And I was so thankful, and I still am, for everyone around me that jumped in and really supported me. And even my friends in Rochester, I would get phone calls. And my sister, once again, Renee, when it happened, she went on my phone to my friends and explained what was going on. So everyone that's close to me really knew what was going on. And then their support was what I relied on. My family and my friends, because there was nothing online. So now there are tons of support groups, and I hope you're able to go to one near you. we have one at Stony Brook Hospital, but since COVID, I know it's been several years, we haven't been able to get it together again to use their conference room, but we're still working on it, so we'll be back. But in-person support, oh my gosh, your group can be 5 people, it can be 25 people. Our group, it depended on the weather, and some people brought their family members, their caregivers, because they need support too, because they're stressed out and they get burnt out and they're scared and they're dealing with the doctors. So we're going to talk about how they can be helped and strategies for them as well. And I'll try to get my sister on as a guest to kind of
I hope
describe.
she joins.
Yeah, and I hope Jay will join us and your kids. You know, we can have a couple of guests at a time if they're able to, and just share what they went through and help others to say, okay, maybe I'll try this, or maybe, I know I'm not alone either. So I think this is going to help a lot of people. So I hope everybody shares our videos. And I don't care about likes or anything like that. I just want to reach out to as many people who are affected by stroke and aneurysm to join us and to follow us and to join our community because it's huge. We just have to get the word out there.
Absolutely.
So, Bren, anything else you want to add to our question of the day?
No, I think the last point that I would like to make, which I don't know if it ties into the question or not, but the fact that, Tracy, when you and I talked about this whole idea developing of being able to both acknowledge the shit as well as laugh, because my experience was at a very different time in history because it was with COVID. So any kind of support that I could find was online. But the one thing that really stood out to me was people who I felt like, okay, this might be their only outlet. So it was very, very negative, very pessimistic, and I was compassionate because the bottom line is, like, I have, as you just spoke up for yourself, tremendous support. I happen to also be blessed with a pretty rock solid mindset. So
yeah, you do.
But,
yes.
But I think that not everyone is blessed up with both sides.
Yeah.
And I found that going into those online support groups was like taking more from me than it was giving. So I was like, you know what? This isn't for me. And so that's one of the things that really speaks to me when you talk to me about this, Tracy, was we can offer both the lighter side without ignoring the reality, because the reality is really challenging.
Absolutely.
And we will not shy away from that. But we don't have to be stuck in it and mired in it. We can find frankly, there's some things that are
they're funny,
but I was also going to say surprisingly positive.
Yes.
Like, let me tell you, 10 years ago, if you said to me, how about doing a podcast? I would say, no way. There's nothing I'm interested in. But yet, here I am.
Yeah.
So I think that there are some bizarre kind of like, I'm gonna use a pun here, strokes of luck, right? Because
absolutely,
I think that there is something to be said for that, and I hope that anybody who tunes in will see that we're going to acknowledge the tough stuff. There's real tough stuff. We're not shying away from that, but there's also some beautiful things, and we hope to be a part of that as well. Hopefully, this is one of your beautiful things.
Yes, and we want to be uplifting in the end and supportive and caring, and like you said, no judgment ever. There's no stupid question. There's no, come on with us and complain if you want, but, in the end, we're going to figure out how we'll help you through it and what we experienced. And somehow, Brenda, you and I end up laughing an awful lot when we connect and we talk. And I just want to share that with other people if they don't have people in their life that are there to support them or share with them. A big thing that I learned through this is family and friends are wonderful,